Every skill, every reference file, every template, it's all active inside of Claude right now. But I built the entire plugin inside of ChatGPT. Not a single peak hour token was used, and we all know that there is a major constraint on usage with Claude right now. So this is a game changer for me because I'm constantly building new skills and new plugins to automate my work. I'm on the Claude Max plan, and it was probably about a week ago when I hit usage limits in the middle of the day after performing a few tasks, and I felt like it was a little bit early for that to actually be happening since it had never happened before. Then I saw this message on X where they announced they were rolling back their usage limits for users during peak hours. And if you know me, then you know that I'm always looking to see if there's a different or better way to get the same result with AI. And since I started experimenting with agentic prompts and workflows inside of ChatGPT almost a year ago, it only made sense for me to try to find a way to replicate skill creation, plugin creation inside of that platform. And for all the things that people may say about ChatGPT, all of their complaints, one of the things that I can say is that I've never hit a usage limit. And this is not me complaining about their usage limits or their business decisions. I'm either going to pay or I'm not going to pay. I pay because it's worth it, but at the same time, if I need to get work done, I don't need to be dependent on a single platform. And so I found a new way to create skills and plugins that work perfectly inside of Claude without burning through my usage during peak hours. What I'm going to show you in this video is my kit builder. It's an 8-phase system that I personally created to create plugins that solve problems holistically, not partially. Because one of the biggest problems and pet peeves that I have with these generic skill creators and plugin creators is that they don't address the total problem. I'm not saying that my way is perfect or that it's the right way. I'm just saying that it's my preferred way. And I prefer that if I'm going to build a plugin or even a skill, it needs to solve every facet of the problem, not just a single aspect. And if you want a copy of my kit builder for Claude or a copy of my kit builder for ChatGPT, which is far more valuable because it saves you so much more money, then check out the link in the description. It's a bonus inside of my 1-hour content strategy kit. The very first thing I did was I took my kit builder and I dropped it into ChatGPT. And I told ChatGPT that this is the Claude plugin. I want you to open it up. I want you to study it. I want you to learn everything that you can about it. ChatGPT opened the zip up. It learned everything that it could about it. And then I told ChatGPT, I want you to convert this into something that we can actually use to build these same type of plugins ourselves. ChatGPT wrote the router prompt under 8,000 characters. It even discussed how we should create the files because there were so many different files. And we discussed what would be the best system for actually using this same methodology with the limited specs of ChatGPT because you can only upload 20 files into a project or a custom GPT. But at the end of the conversation, we had everything from my Claude plugin repackaged to be used inside of a ChatGPT project. If you look inside of my kit builder source files, you can see that I still have the same files and mechanisms that I brought over from my Claude plugin. And then my router prompt, that's my orchestration layer or my control layer. And this is how I've been using ChatGPT projects for almost a year now, especially because when you first set them up, you're able to choose the memory and make it project only so that I get no noise from outside conversations. And when I'm doing things like building kits or plugins for Claude, then I'm able to build my own personal knowledge over time by learning from these conversations, learning from different plugins that I'm building, different skills that I'm building, and learning new ways to evolve my system. And even though I only have 10 files here because the references and templates have been merged with the instructions, they still perform at the same quality as the skills and plugins that have subfolders and that have about 44, 47 different files. Step one, I just tell the AI what type of plugin I want to create, a full stack productivity success plugin for the general public that works as a daily driver, review system, and a sellable product. And immediately what ChatGPT started doing was decomposing the problem. And then it created a facet map that looked at every single facet of the problem. The next step after the problem decomposition is the solution engineering. And so this is where ChatGPT begins to look at the problem and tries to find solutions for each of the individual aspects and how we're going to solve them with AI. And the solution engineering exists to make certain that we're solving the actual problems that we've uncovered, not some theoretical problems that we think are an issue, but really aren't. And after we approve the solution engineering phase, we move into the next phase, which is source engineering or the research plan. plan. Source engineering is all about verifying the data you're going to build on top of. And this is something that almost nobody does. Everybody just does a deep research inside of Notebook LM or does a deep research with Claude and just uses the data that it pulls in. But nobody verifies that the data is actually high quality or that the information is accurate. And so they're just building skills, building plugins based on whatever. And so if you're somebody who's looking to build a plugin or a skill for your business, then you definitely need to make certain, number one, that it's based on your business data. And number two, if you're using any external data, any external knowledge, verify that it's high quality and that it's accurate. And essentially what ChatGPT did was create a research plan for me over several different sessions that I was required to run. And I ran deep researches on all of these except for number 6, I believe, because it was plugin platform feasibility and constraints. And I didn't need that because Kit Builder is already designed for ChatGPT and for Claude. And after I completed the deep research, I uploaded the markdown versions of the document so that ChatGPT could have an easy time processing the information that we had gathered and we could validate what was good and what was not. And from that point, this is where we actually start building, because this is when we get into instruction engineering. We want to take the information, the best information that we validated, that's based on our business data, that's based on the best sources in the market, that's based on what people accept to be true of the world and in life. And we want to start extracting the logic from that. What are the step-by-step sequences? What are the methodologies? What are the frameworks? What are the ways of doing this thing that lead to the result that we want as a human? And this is essentially where we're going to get the operating logic for each of our skills. And so ChatGPT has already started extracting the logic that we need for each of the individual skills that is going to create eventually. The system is then going to look at everything that the instruction engineer has put together, the skills that it's identified, and it's going to say, what tools does this specific skill need to actually carry out what it's going to be able to do eventually? Based on this total list of tools that I've put together, how many of them are going to be shared across all of the skills? That's going to be a public library. And how many of them are going to be available only for particular skills? That's a private library. So the system begins creating an asset registry and a reference for the public library and the private library. And after that, the system moves into skill building so that it builds the individual skills, where each skill includes reference files and templates. Now that we have our library created in phase 5 and we have our skills created in phase 6, now the system is going to write our orchestration layer or our control layer in phase 7, because we know everything that needs to be orchestrated. And once we approved it, ChatGPT immediately packaged it as a zip file that we could upload to Claude. Final plugin archive successsystem.zip. Go to Claude, click customize, add plugin, upload plugin. And now that I have my success system uploaded, all I have to do is click upload. And then I'm just going to replace the existing plugin so you can see it installed cleanly. And there it is. No warning about legacy formatting or anything, because ChatGPT packaged it the accurate way, the preferred way, I should say. And you can see all of the skills here laid out, all of the different files, everything ready to go inside of Claude, but 100% from front to back created inside of ChatGPT. So now not only have we uploaded a plugin created by ChatGPT, but we've been able to create the same plugin, if not better, using Codex. And to be honest, this is one of the most unexpected things that came out of this video, because as soon as I saw that I could do this with ChatGPT, I immediately ran the entire workflow through a single Codex thread. If you got value out of this video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and as always, take care, have a great day. And if you want to see how Notebook LM can run Claude skills better than Claude, then make sure you check out this video right here.